What is happening, everyone? Greetings from Leon, Nicaragua. Got here yesterday night around 1 a.m. or so after a very long bus ride from El Salvador. You know, it was around 11 hours or so, 2 border crossings. You know, the last one between Honduras and Nicaragua took around an hour and something, and they were like barely 25 people or so. It was us and 2 other small little buses, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, long process. Either way, I'm here, I'm grateful, I'm ready to explore the city. You know, there's interesting times right now in Nicaragua, no doubt whatsoever. I'll be visiting Leon for 3 days, and I'll be visiting Granada for 3 days as well, and then off to Costa Rica. But yeah, until then, let's see what the city has to offer. So, yep. As you can tell, guys, Leon is your typical colonial city in Central America. You know, looks very similar to Antigua in Guatemala, no doubt. Colorful houses, you know, ranging from turquoise to purple to orange, but you know, it doesn't have the regular cobblestones in many places. More of these you know, traditional, you know, nowadays that you see pretty much everywhere, or people use them in their backyard and on their porch. So guys, just made it to the main square here in Leon. I'm gonna talk straight into the camera because it's loud music, and there's some other people here talking in the microphone. Not sure if there are any festivities or what tonight. The place it's guarded. It's guarded all the way to the teeth. People with machine guns and you know, other weapons all the way. But I'm gonna show you guys the main cathedral here. You know, if you Google Leon, this is one of the first things that's gonna pop up. It's big, probably gonna take a look inside as well, and from what I know, you can go on the roof as well, and we're gonna take you guys there as well. Lots of pigeons, you know, love pigeons. They end up in great shots. Hopefully I can take some. But yeah, it looks like they have some puppets here. You know, some stages are going up, and you know, not sure exactly what's taking place here, but I'm probably gonna stay until later on, and we'll find out. Hey, what's up? So it looks like they have 2 puppets here. One of a guy with you know, some award, and then a very tall lady, pretty much as tall as the building. So again, you know, definitely some type of festivity going on tonight. So as you can imagine, you know, the city of Leon has a lot of lion sculptures, you know, in front of the cathedral here as well. And also I've noticed quite a few in the main on the main fountain, which they'll make probably some great foregrounds for some photos that I'm probably gonna take later on today. But yeah, let's take a look inside, and so you can still hear the music. You know, so I'm not gonna lower my voice as I do in other places, in other, you know, religious shrines. But yeah, the place is quite big. It's white and you know, very pale yellow. It's very typical, you know, to see this type of color in some of the cathedrals in Central and South America. And it looks like there's a tour taking place here. So right now, guys, going to the top of the church to check out the views of the city. To go up, it'll cost you $3. You know, although the church is open after 2 o'clock or so, free entrance after 2 o'clock. Going on the rooftop does cost you $3, but I heard there's some pretty phenomenal views, so let's check it out. So yeah, this is the first part of the roof. It looks pretty good, you know. The guy did tell me right here at the entry that you should not be stepping on the domes because they're very fragile. They may not look like it, but they are. So just kind of go around, they said. So this is the view that you can see from the top. up. You know, this is the middle of the church. There's another church. Yeah, there's a lot of churches in this town, guys. I've seen 5 or so far. You know, not all of them open or anything, but still a lot of the colonial vibe. But yeah, guys, at the end of the church, you get some pretty astonishing views with another church here in town, and also the volcanoes in the back. I kind of zoom the most I can here with this little camera, but yeah, you can tell it's quite nice. Another beautiful church here in town is the Iglesia de la Recolección. You know, its facade is painted all yellow. It's closed right now. It's not able to get in. You know, I've noticed that with a couple of the churches that I passed by. You know, not as grand as this one or the main one, of Asunción in the main center. But you know, it's still quite impressive. You know, seeing that many colonial churches in such a small square footage. More colorful buildings. This one, you know, green and orange, is quite eye-popping. But I've noticed that in a lot of places here, you know, they got the problems with the electrical wires, telephone poles, whatever. You know, they're pretty much everywhere, and it's kind of impeding, you know, phenomenal photos. They're still gonna look decent. You know, kind of shows the reality, right, of what's taking place. But yeah, overall, it would be nice to, you know, kind of have, you know, some open spaces. You know, just take some shots of it. So guys, decided to kind of stay here on a little street, which is not as loud as the main square there. You know, just to, you know, kind of tell you guys some facts, you know, about Nicaragua, and also I guess some things that I've seen. You know, given the conditions the country is facing right now. You know, I mean, they do have a national currency which is called Cordoba, but pretty much everywhere you can pay with the US dollar, you know, and the rate right now is 1 at 32. A haircut, for example, which I just got a couple hours ago, was not even $2. You know, I gave the guy $2 just for the hell of it. You know, it's not the greatest, but either way, you know, I did get a big, large smoothie for around, you know, $2.50 or so. You know, I gave him $3 just because I did not have any of the money, so I got to exchange a few things just so I won't pay, you know, a little bit extra, because they won't give me change, you know, or if they do give me change, if it's a bigger change, yeah, they'll give me their local stuff, but they won't give a US dollar as change, at least from my experience. The things that the country went through in 2018, you know, with a lot of violence, you know, a lot of riots and so on. Therefore, right now, pretty much everywhere you go, it's quite quiet. There are not as many tourists. You know, the place that I'm staying at, there's only one other guy. You know, I probably shouldn't have booked a private room. Probably would have got a different room, common shared room, and I still would have had no one in my room. But either way, you know, like I'm paying around $12 for a private room here. You can get the shared one for around $7. You know, so it's still a pretty good deal. You know, food-wise, I have not tried anything. I just had the breakfast at the hotel, and like I said, the big smoothie. But you know, one funny coincidence, you know, there were these old ladies, you know, sitting in a park and just discussing, you know, things, and I was taking pictures of this one church, and they kind of start talking to me, even though, you know, my Spanish is quite awful. I knew they were talking to me. They were trying to figure out where I'm from, you know, and one was saying he's Dominican, someone else. So the lady said, I have no idea what she said. She did not say nationality, but she said something, maybe an ethnic group, or, you know, who knows. They asked me where I'm from, and I told them I'm from Romania, and you know, they say, you know, why Nicaragua? And they start showing all these violent, you know, with gestures, you know, at one point even with a gun or stuff like that. And you know, I just didn't know how to react, so I just kind of smiled and I said, you know, todo es bien aquí. which is still gonna hopefully gonna be the case. You know, I still got quite a few days here, but either way, you know, it's just awkward seeing these old ladies and then, you know, trying to, you know, kind of, you know, you should welcome people, especially during these hard conditions, right? And they were kind of like showing you all these negative parts. Of course, you know, I'm aware of things, but also you gotta be informed in many cases and not take things just as you see them, right? This is a small colonial town, you know, not a lot of things happening here. Hopefully, again, same thing with Granada. Granada is another colonial town, which at one point, you know, was the capital. Same thing with Leon. There's still a little, you know, competitiveness. There's a little competition between the two, you know, when it comes to touristic stuff. So, you know, but most people do decide that, you know, Leon and Granada both worth visiting, no matter what. But either way, just a little FYI there regarding Nicaragua. You know, keeping my fingers crossed, you know, that everything is gonna go smooth, transportation wise gonna go smooth. You know, one thing that I do want to mention that, you know, kind of, you know, create a little bit of, you know, like what the hell's happening was at 7 o'clock this morning, there was an alarm. I mean, an alarm that you would hear in case of something's happening in a city, right? Pretty much for like, you know, a minute and a half. And you know, I got up, I put my pants on. I thought for a second it's gonna be like a volcano stuff, right? Because there are a lot of volcanoes around, you know, some of them active. So I put my pants on, got all my important stuff, and you know, kind of noticed that it went off after a minute or so before I got dressed. So I went downstairs and asked what was happening, and they said it was regular routine every single day at 7 o'clock and at 12 to sound the alarm. So I was not aware at the beginning of it. So either way, it was quite, you know, I wouldn't say panicking wise, but it was more of what the hell is happening. So yeah. So I'm most likely gonna wake up before 7 every day now. Going to go to sleep a little bit early just so I can wake up, so I won't be woken up by the alarm. It's loud, guys, so it's quite inconvenient, but just a little side note there. Guys, I stopped to eat really fast and kind of show you guys what $1.50 is gonna buy you here. You know, some rice, tortilla, you know, pancake, crepe, whatever you want to call it, with some cheese. You know, some type of minced meat. You know, type of meatball and a little bit of lettuce. But you know, it's not that bad for the price that you pay. One of the things that I like to do in these colonial towns is just walk around and enjoy the architecture, you know, thinking that a lot of these houses have been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. You know, it's just mesmerizing, you know, especially, you know, when you see the conditions of some of them, it makes you think, you know, how were they in their prime, right? And you know, what were they, you know, who lived there and things like that. But yeah, it's something I did, you know, pretty much everywhere: Antigua, Trinidad, in Cuba, you know, and so many other more places. So guys, one thing that I do have to mention, and you know, it's an attraction here in Leon, and you have to do it. You know, I think it's unique in the world, is volcano boarding. I'm not gonna do that, unfortunately. You know, it was on my list, but right now I'm not gonna take the risk with my disc hernia, which is not messing up or anything like that, but I feel like it's not as, you know, I mean, the muscles around it are not as strong as they used to be, you know, when I was training, you know, more frequently and getting the muscles strong. So I said to myself, you know, it's not worth, you know, putting that risk, you know, when I definitely have to get, you know, my muscles around, you know, around my back, my lower back, you know, a little bit stronger, you know. But yeah, definitely number 2 recommendation here if you're in the city, besides the city of Leon, of course. I have climbed, 3 volcanoes so far, so it's not about the climb or anything like that. Cerro Negro, it is, I believe, one of the youngest volcanoes in Central America, if not the youngest. But definitely recommend it 100% if you do come to Leon. So guys, that was it from Leon, Nicaragua. I'm gonna end this episode right here. I got a bus to catch tomorrow, heading to Granada. I'm gonna probably shoot another episode there, most likely around the city, and may do a few activities outside the city. If I do, I may keep those in a separate episode. I'll combine it, but either way, I appreciate it that you guys tune in to watch it. If you have any other questions regarding Leon or Nicaragua in general, feel free to leave a comment below or just DM me. But until then, you guys take care. Gratitude should be the only attitude, and I'll see you next time.